Alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our discussion. In this discussion, my name is Faikar Raja Muzaki. I'll be the chairperson, and today's presenter is Fahmi Adli Sultani, and the note taker will be Iqbal Karismawan. Before we start the discussion, let's baca basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, thank you. Now let's start the discussion. For the presenter, the time is yours, Fahmi Adli Sultani.
Thank you for the beautiful welcoming, Chairperson. Now I'm here to present my presentation. I will discuss about culture. Short introduction. My name is Fahmi Adil Sultani, and you can call me Fahmi or Sultan. Next slide, please. In this discussion, I will discuss about mooncake, a Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival trend. Before I start the presentation, have you ever heard about mooncake in novel or movie or game or something?
No, I haven't heard that.
No.
Terang bulan.
Yes, okay. If you haven't learned about that, we can discuss about this in my presentation. Next slide. So what is mooncake? Mooncakes are synonymous with the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival, a holiday that falls on the full moon that is the 15th day of the 18th lunar month. Mooncake, from what we see above, is a moon-shaped cake filled with lotus paste and a salted egg yolk, but sometimes with different filling too. Next. Here I'm going to show you the history of mooncake. It starts with the Tang Dynasty, Emperor Xizong. It starts between 873 until 888. During the reign of Tang Dynasty Emperor Xizong, mooncakes gifted by the court to visiting scholars during the Mid-Autumn Festival. And after the event of the Tang Dynasty, the reign of Tang Dynasty traditional pastries is next to the Song Dynasty. It starts between 960 until 1000 to 279. And next, the history continues to the Ming Dynasty. Ming Dynasty in 1368 until 1644. While the association may date to the Tang Dynasty, the widespread practice of making and eating mooncakes during Mid-Autumn Festival only began during the Ming Dynasty. So the widespread practice is not happen in the Tang Dynasty or Song Dynasty, but begins in Ming Dynasty. Next. There are many regional variations of the mooncakes, and the most commonly sold Chinese mooncake, as we know, sometimes referred as the Cantonese style, is round, about 4 inches in diameter, and about 1.5 inches thick. There are also few popular types of mooncakes, such as Chaoshan mooncakes, Hong Kong mooncakes, and Suzhou mooncakes. Next. Did you know that the mooncakes are not exactly a healthy food? Because of their rich fillings, mooncakes are hardly the healthiest Chinese pastries. The use of ingredients like lotus seed paste and salted egg yolks translate into a significant level of sugar and salt. That's between 700 and 1000 calories. And you can imagine how much is that for a person who run a diet. But don't worry, and in our generation, in modern Asian, many Asian here uh, make their recipes to reduce their use of sugar and salt. So the person who eat mooncakes and in nowadays not eat too much, not get too much calories. Next, please. Do you know why Chinese people eat mooncake during the Mid-Autumn Festival? For the Chinese, this joyous festival is a culture for reunion time, get together with friends, and of course, feasting on mooncakes. In Chinese culture, roundness of the mooncake shape symbols completeness and togetherness. A full moon symbolizes prosperity and reunion for the whole family. Round mooncakes complement the harvest moon in the night sky at the Mid-Autumn Festival. Next. There are a story during the Song Dynasty about the mooncakes we are talking about. According to the story, Taizong, a general from Song Dynasty, looked at the moon while eating one of the cakes and said, "I'd like to invite the toad to enjoy the whole cake." He shared the cakes with his ministers, and the custom of eating these Yu cakes was soon practiced in celebration of event. As the practice began to spread throughout the country, the round cakes eventually became known as mooncakes. Next, there are also a different story during the Ming Dynasty about the mooncakes. According to a different tale, the traditional mooncake played a significant part during the Chinese against the Mongols. At the end of the Yuan dynasty, the rebel leader Zhu Yuanzhang distributed thousands of mooncakes to Chinese residents in the Mongol capital in the guise of celebrating the Mongol ruler. Each cake concealed a piece of paper saying, "Kill the Mongols on the 15th day of the 8th month." The plan succeeded and the Mongols were overthrown. The rebel leader Zhu then founded the Ming dynasty and supposedly began the tradition still practiced until today. Next. And I think that's all from me. Forgive me if I did or say anything wrong. Maybe the chairperson can give it back to you.
All right, very well. That was an incredible discussion. And now we must change to the Q&A section. Anybody has any question? Raise your hand. No one gonna ask something? Maybe Izudin or Anissa? Hello? Anybody here? Yes, Reddit, but Are you going to ask something? You are opening your
Unfortunately,
mic.
no. I apologize. There's no question from me.
Anybody? Is there no question at all? Okay, if there is no question, we get to the next section. The next section is from the note taker, Iqbal Karismawan. The wonderful stage is yours, please.
Okay, thank you, Racha. Now I'm going to give the conclusion for the presentation. From the presentation, we know that mooncake. We know that mooncake is a part of Chinese culture. From the presentation, we know that mooncake is a part of Chinese culture. A Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival treat. Mooncake is one of the most beloved traditional pastries in East and Southeast Asia. The history of mooncake is from Tang Dynasty Emperor Sixong. So after the reign of Tang Dynasty Emperor Song Dynasty to Ming Dynasty in 1368 to 1644. And then there's so many regional variations of mooncake. There's Chow Shan mooncakes, Hong Kong mooncakes, and Suzhou mooncakes. To make mooncakes healthier, many Asians reduce the use of sugar and salt. For Chinese people, eating mooncakes is a culture time for family reunion. And then so that's all I can say, more or less. I apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That was from Iqbal, the conclusion. Now, I guess it's time to end this meeting. And let's say Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
for the mistake that I and my group have did. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.